The Shredder has always been an obsessive character in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, appearing in various iterations. However, one version had reasons driving his obsession, a heinous act that robbed him of his identity and legacy, leading him to become a ruthless villain. Today, I will discuss the Shredder from the 2012 Nickelodeon series. This adaptation of the Shredder was voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, who had already worked as a voice actor in the Tmnt movie of 2007, where he voiced General Aguila. To talk about Oroku Saki, first we need to talk about his famous helmet, the Kurokabuto. This helmet was forged by the founder of the Foot Clan, Koga Takuza, from the totems he stole from his fallen enemies. It was said that the helmet was stronger than steel. The Foot Clan was the oldest of all the ninja clans, but as time passed, the Foot Clan was completely decimated by the Hamato clan. Their village was raided, and their master, Oroku Kaiji, was killed. The leader of the Hamato clan, Hamato Yuta, found baby Oroku Saki in the ruins of the village and adopted him as his own, as well as a brother to his son, Yoshi. It's probably because of what Saki saw during this event that he continued to see visions of a world in chaos. Saki and Yoshi grew up as siblings, but they were also rivals, even when it came to matters of love. Saki dated a girl named Tang Shen, but she eventually broke up with him and married Yoshi. This only made their rivalry worse. Yoshi and Shen had a baby named Miwa, but their marriage wasn't completely happy. Yoshi's father was getting ill, and it was his duty to ensure that the Hamato clan continued after his death. This didn't match Shen's expectations of moving away from Japan, of moving to New York. Saki tried to take advantage of this, and asked Shen to take him back because the way he saw things, the only thing Yoshi really loved was his clan. But before Shen could decide, Saki discovered the truth about his father, that he was raised by the enemy. Now embracing the symbols of the Foot Clan, he recruited followers from within the Hamato clan and was bent on getting revenge. He fought against Yoshi with the intention of killing him. During the fight, their carelessness led to the house catching fire due to some fallen candles. Shen tried to stop the fight, but this only caused Saki to accidentally kill her. On his way out, Saki was disfigured by fire, and thinking Yoshi had perished in the fire, he took Miwa, renamed her Karai, and raised her as his own. After this, he found the Kurokabuto, added some retractable claws, and became the Shredder. The Foot Clan would have remained in Japan, but when news broke out that there were ninjas in New York using the symbol of the Hamato clan, Saki realized that Yoshi was still alive. That was when he made the decision to go to New York. He was able to defeat the Turtles in battle during their first encounter, but he never had the chance to kill them due to various distracting mutations happening around him. From that moment on, the Turtles and the Foot Clan were at war. Shredder learned that the Turtles were fighting against the Krang and decided to form an alliance with them. As part of this deal, the Foot Clan kidnapped April O'Neil, as she was the key to the Krang invasion. Splinter received an ultimatum from Shredder, and with the Turtles busy fighting the Krang, he chose to fight for her. But it was all a trap, leading to a fight to the death. Shredder discovered Yoshi's mutation, and Splinter learned that Miwa was Karai. Splinter could have won the fight, but Karai intervened. When Shredder revealed to her that Splinter was the one who murdered her mother, she attempted to kill him. He had no choice but to escape from her. The alliance with the Krang only strengthened the Foot Clan, as Saki began replacing his soldiers with footbots. However, it didn't take long for Karai to uncover the truth about her real father, which prompted Saki to imprison her in a dungeon. Eventually, Karai was rescued and returned to seek revenge against Saki. However, Shredder managed to capture her and used her as bait to lure Splinter. His new plan involved transforming the Turtles into serpents, as they were known to prey on rats. Unfortunately, this entire plan backfired, resulting in Karai being mutated into a serpent. Shredder once again faced off against Splinter during the Krang invasion of New York. During this confrontation, it appeared that Splinter had perished, dragged away by a torrent of water. The alliance with the Krang proved to be highly imbalanced. Shredder agreed to help them conquer the city and the world in exchange for reverting Karai's mutation. However, he first needed to locate her. The Krang successfully invaded the city, leaving the Turtles without Splinter. They were forced to flee to Northampton to escape. By the time the Turtles returned to New York, they discovered Splinter in a feral state of mind and could not prevent the Foot Clan from kidnapping him. Prior to ending his life, Shredder dispatched him to Baxter Stockman to restore his sanity, ensuring that he comprehends his impending fate. The Turtles, along with Casey and April, liberated him and utilized April's telekinesis to restore Splinter to his normal state. Shredder managed to recapture Karai and, with the aid of peculiar worms, subjected her mind to control. Eventually, Splinter assisted her in combating the mental manipulation, reinstating her conflict with Shredder. However, when the Triceraton Empire attempted to utilize the Heart of Darkness on Earth to annihilate the planet, the Turtles and Shredder reluctantly joined forces. Nevertheless, Saki lost control of himself and, perceiving the mission's failure, decided to terminate Splinter. As a result, Earth was destroyed, prompting the Turtles to travel 6 months into the past in order to prevent the cataclysmic event from occurring. The Turtles nearly failed once again, but they ultimately managed to save the Earth for the second time. By altering the chain of events, Splinter successfully apprehended Shredder as he attempted to kill him. Splinter not only survived, but he also defeated Shredder in what appeared to be the definitive last confrontation. This defeat severely humiliated Saki, prompting him to subject himself to mutagenic experimentation. Consequently, he transformed into the Super Shredder. However, this mutation proved to be unstable, necessitating additional doses of mutagen to maintain his strength. At this juncture, it became evident that Saki was completely consumed by his obsession. He abandoned Karai, leaving her for dead, just as he'd callously disregarded Tang Shen's lifeless body in the past. With nothing left to lose, Super Shredder confronted Master Splinter in the same location where he'd encountered the Turtles years earlier. Initially, Splinter succeeded in besting him, but Saki eventually returned and killed his lifelong nemesis. When all seemed lost, April's telekinetic powers emerged triumphant, as she forcefully propelled Super Shredder into the back of a garbage truck. Besides the Ninja Turtles, garbage trucks have been portrayed as one of the Shredder's most formidable adversaries in TV and films. However, the story doesn't conclude there. Super Shredder managed to survive and retreated to his new stronghold. The Turtles infiltrated this fortress, ultimately resulting in Leonardo decapitating him, thus bringing an end to his reign of terror. In the absence of the Shredder, the Foot Clan found itself in the midst of a schism. Tiger Claw, who served as the Shredder's second-in-command, attempted to resurrect Saki by summoning the demon Cavaxis from the afterlife. Tiger Claw enlisted mutated clones as his followers, utilizing the leftover mutagen from the Super Shredder that had seeped into the sewers. By the time Cavaxis successfully brought Shredder back from the dead, Saki's spirit had endured what seemed like an eternity in the afterlife. The fact that it was Cavaxis who restored him to life meant that Cavaxis became his new master. Consequently, Shredder appointed Cavaxis as his second-in-command, effectively sidelining Tiger Claw. To free Cavaxis from servitude, Shredder destroyed the Seal of the Ancients, which had kept Cavaxis enslaved. Once liberated, Cavaxis opened the gates to the Netherworld. However, in a turn of events, Michelangelo managed to piece the seal back together and compelled Cavaxis to reverse all the supernatural damage caused. Ultimately, after what felt like an eternity in the afterlife, the Shredder's insatiable obsession was finally appeased. With nothing left to fight for in the real world, he ensured that Cavaxis was pulled back into the Netherworld. So what do you think? Was Saki's obsession justified? Do you think the writers could have done something more interesting with the character after that full-fleshed origin story? And do you think we'll ever see a standalone villain movie for that garbage truck? Let me know in the comments. As usual, thank you to the viewers supporting the channel through memberships, super thanks, and the online store. Your help goes directly into making these videos. Thanks for watching.